This is Dr. Vaishali, and I'm reading from the book Structure of Homeopathy, book written by Dr. Rajan Sankaran. Today's topic is Crux of Positronium. More about the Positronium in detail. The Positronium has got three aspects, which are matter, antimatter, and energy. This triple nature is very clear along the proving by Misha Norland. Matter is substance, structure, weight, feeding, grounded in the patient's own story. Antimatter is the very scaring calmness and peace. And energy is the movement, exercise, music, sex, everything. And this will lead us to the relationship, radioactive element, and hydrogen. Positronium, according to the word of Teilhard de Chardin, is the alpha and the omega of human life and universe. Relationship between black hole, which is mentioned in last case, which I omit, and experience of disintegration, annihilation, which is mentioned in very last case. I omit one case 4, because of printing mistake. Black hole is the end of the solar system when the star planet is disintegrated. Massive star fraction which have exploded in a supernova, giving ultra dense nucleus which can, if to be, transformed into black hole. When the star has consumed his whole hydrogen, she collapsed out in his own gravity. This is the anti-world or antimatter, which is not reachable from our own level of consciousness. So, black hole and disintegration, annihilation are in an obvious relationship and are corresponding to antimatter phenomena. This shows the conceptual and homeopathic proximity in between hydrogen, radioactive element, and positronium. Logical series of the periodic table, radioactive element, which has a quality of heaviness, disintegration, spiritual matter, end of the life and the death. In positronium, there is an antimatter, before universe, big bang, incarnation, and reincarnation. In hydrogen, the beginning of means of from a new one, starting of this universe and conception. So the main feeling of radioactive elements by Dr. Rajan Sankaran are high sense of responsibility which overloaded, overburden, pull back, hold them back, and conflict them back together. Tremendous pressure from which they want to break free, splitting of oneself into many. This is all about the comparison to of the hydrogen, radioactive, and positronium. And also the radioactive have lead to disintegration and destruction. And what comes out is just energy, but very powerful energy. So, crux of radioactive elements by Dr. Rajan Sankaran are high sense of responsibility, which is overloaded or overburdened, pull back, hold them back, and confine them back together. Tremendous pressure from which they want to break free, splitting of oneself into the many, lead to disintegration and destruction. And what comes out is just energy, but very powerful energy. This is not human power, but beyond human. In one of your which is found in yogi or the sannyasi. Here we are still in matter, but with tremendous powerful energy only. Important word of the row 7 of radioactive elements. They are heaviness, tremendous pressure, letting go, splitting up, breaking loose, energy, overloaded, destructive, constructive, power, bursting, explosion, gigantic energy coming out. And I propose to add with the experience radiating, emanation, limits, no limits, nucleus, dematerialization, disintegration. And the main feeling of positronium is we have gone through the disintegration and destruction. which is actually an annihilation, which is actually splitting into the spread out particle which tend to move off, which is the only mean not to come back to attraction and gravity, which would be coming back to matter. Here it corresponds to the stage of incarnation or reincarnation. Here we are immaterial, simple energetic level, it is antimatter. Important word of the positronium could be universe, space, going into space, annihilation, utter distraction, disintegration, black hole, spiral, unembodiment, no more body, no more contact with matter, cataclysmic, magnetic force attracting against which you can't help. The main feeling of hydrogen is what? It is the stage after Big Bang stage of the first atom. Difference is that of the neutron which with the electron instead of positron. Difference is that of a neutron with the electron instead of positron. It is still a gas stage like some planet are in right now. Here it is the stage of life coming up after beginning of universe. The stage of existence, conception, the initial, the alpha. Here it is a new material but in a gas matter. Not so much energetic manifestation but only potentially. Not yet evolved. Important word of the hydrogen are space out, filling, no time or the space, strange, unreal, truth, unity, simple, alone, isolated, symbiotic, conception, union of two atoms, two nucleus of the nucleus and electron. Referring to universe and figure out difference which is real, we could say that the radioactive elements would be united to universe, positronium would be lost spread in the universe, and hydrogen is alone in the universe. We can point out the both case of 3 and 4, some words belonging to another sphere than the positronium can be found. Example, disintegration belong also to radioactive and positronium. But the idea, the energy of the whole case is special and different. There is a spiral explosion in the particle and can only move off from each other. So the whole is within the whole, the microcosm, and which is the macrocosm. The man is the whole universe, birth, growing up, decline and death, as well as the man then of universe, cycle of man and cycle of universe. Creating means Brahma, that is a positronium. In between, protecting Vishnu, which is hydrogen, and destroying means Shiva, Kali, radioactive element. Could it be said so? Yes. Positronium can be shall I go or not? Shall I dive or not? Shall I incarnate or not? According to Judaism, it could be, is my desire clear enough, and is it a desire to create and move down, joining God's desire of creation? There is also the theme of Mother Earth, the theme of original purity, the theme of spatial meditative state. So matter, I would like to go and incarnate, but it is so heavy. And antimatter, so I withdraw in that virtual world of spirit. And energy means, but I am living deep within myself, a lively, tremendous energy which is just like a life and just want to express it fully. So matter, antimatter, and the energy. Will I choose to materialize and incarnate in this so difficult and cruel world? And maybe am I also afraid of my own aggressiveness? This could make a understand better of the positronium. Now the conclusion is what? As I stressed it earlier on, these observations give a vertiginous feeling that raised by the problem of ontogenesis, of the origin of the man, of its relationship with the energy of the universe, of the relationship of this energy with the materialization of the possible existence of the cycle that Hindu philosophy names rebirth, of the passage during the cycle by the phase of disintegration, which correspond to the 7 row of the periodic table that are usually radioactive remedies. We know that this phase correspond to that of the death. Then there is a phase of rematerializations, which would correspond to the decision of the reincarnations. Before that of the conception itself. So first row again there is a hydrogen, and after the passage in pure energy, these correspond to the 3 aspects of the positronium: matter, antimatter, and the energy. Now, positronium would be the very important remedy for everything that deals with the passage between life and the death, between reincarnation and conception. It can thus be an excellent remedy in the pediatric as long as we find that energy of the beginning of the universe in relation to the evanescent state, not material but infinite, which is at the same time nothing and a huge energy. It is the first, and it is the experience of the black hole of a cold at the 5th level of sensation, and that is found in the both cases we discussed. That is sensation of non-existence, of no consciousness of oneself, of no bodily presence at the 4th level of delusion. The virtual aspect of the persons. I don't know who I am, what I am doing here. If I were not here, it would be the same. I could just not be here, says Centrine. There is a sensation of an absence of structure and symptom, or else the dynamic corresponds to the 3 state of positronium: matter, antimatter, energy, as the proving shows. The positronum or the difficulty of the positronum or the difficulty of incarnation. This is all about positronium.